Alright guys, in this video we're going to talk about how to build organic keyword rank quickly and effectively. And we're going to discuss the title, the bullets, and the back end, which generally make up kind of the most importance, especially by weight, when it comes to the words that you're putting in your listing. Because originally that's the only thing Amazon has to go off of when it comes to how they're indexing you and how they're organically ranking your product, right? And so in order, the order of importance from a weight perspective, when I say weight, it means how much it matters. The title, what you put in your title, keywords wise, is the most important. What you put in your bullets is second most important, and then what you put in your back end keywords is also important, but it is the least weight. It carries the least weight of the three. And before we actually get into this subject, I want to talk about kind of some of the ways that Amazon actually indexes products. And when I say index, all I mean is Amazon actually gives you credit for those words and it'll rank your product for those words. Because the more words that you organically index for means the more words you organically rank for, means the more people who are, searching millions and millions of different things on Amazon every single day, which happens every single day. It means that the more of those people searching those search terms are going to find your product, and getting organic sales is kind of the whole point of Amazon. Because it's just we're basically the reason FBA works so well is because Amazon has so many millions of incredibly loyal kind of followers and people that use the website every single day. So how you actually get keyword rank. So we're going to talk about this in a later module, but actually running launches and giveaways. When you're actually when you first launch your product and you're doing giveaways, and you're getting people to buy your product, and you're doing that through keyword targeting, that will actually tell Amazon, okay, people are searching these words and they're buying this product. So we should give those words some index power to this product. So that's kind of the first way, right? The second way that people or that products are actually getting organic rank is through PPC. And we're going to talk in depth about PPC, right? Advertising on Amazon. We're going to talk about that in depth later on in this course as well. But I just want to introduce the concept so you kind of understand, okay, this is how Amazon's organizing all of this, because none of it's magic, right? It's all programmatic. It's all algorithmic. And Amazon's, has to figure out one size fits all solution to rank multiple millions of products on their platform. Right? And so you have to kind of think about it from Amazon's perspective. They're saying, okay, well, people are searching the word coffee grinder and then they're buying this product. That must mean that this product is applicable and relevant for the word coffee grinder. So let's give them some indexing. Let's give them some organic rank. If people keep buying it, right, then we're going to keep ranking them up higher and higher and higher, right? Because from Amazon's perspective, if a customer searches coffee grinder and they buy a product, Amazon makes money fulfilling that product and the customer is happy, right? So they want the products ranked highest that people are buying most often when they search the words relevant for those products, right? And so when you actually do giveaways and things like that, you kind of trick the algorithm into thinking your product's relevant. And then once you start to get organic sales because people are seeing your product, then it starts to kind of perpetuate and it becomes a snowball effect where you continue to maintain that organic rank. So that's kind of part A. Part B is advertising. So for example, if you just launch a product, right, and you don't really have any reviews yet, and we're going to tell you exactly how to get reviews, using the Amazon early reviewer program and things like that a bit later on in the course. But before you have all that and before you have run your giveaways and things like that, Amazon PPC allows you to rank and index for words that you wouldn't otherwise be able to, right? So let's say, for example, that you created an advertising campaign where you said, okay, Amazon, I'll give you $1 every time somebody somewhere out there in the USA searches stainless steel coffee grinder. They click on that advertisement and then they end up buying, right? So if they click on an ad that you're paying Amazon to show to random customers who search the term stainless steel coffee grinder, they click on your product and they buy, right? Then Amazon says, okay, well, that person clicked on an ad for a keyword that said stainless steel coffee grinder and then they bought, right? So that must be relevant. That product must be relevant for a stainless steel coffee grinder. So I hope you guys are starting to kind of get how Amazon's doing this. It's all very logical once you kind of understand it, but don't let yourself be like most people and just think it's magic or like it's not possible to figure out. It's like anything else. We can see it happening and so we can figure it out, and that's exactly how it works. So let's actually start to talk about where we actually change things and modify things so that they show up. So I think a good way to be able to do this is actually looking at a listing. And this is a listing that, oops, I forgot I had a second screen open. This is a listing that I've created, or somebody in one of my Amazon companies created at one point. Um, and so let's actually take a look inside of the listing here in edit. And then we're going to look at what it actually looks like inside of the listing. I think it would actually be easier to kind of do it like this. So we see that they have that the bullets are like this, right? Pre-printed messages, freestanding, magnetic board, easy to put together. I see a typo right here, so I obviously didn't write this. Right, but so the important thing here is, guys, that there's capitalized words that you want to draw people's attention to, right? 12 ready to go magnets with prizes for winning. Yeah, I definitely did not write this, but they still did a reasonable job, I guess. It's selling like $1,000 a day, so obviously it's not too terrible, but that's a good lesson for you, right? Even if it's not perfectly done, it's still selling like crazy. So and where you actually do that is over here in description with key product features, right? Pre-printed messages. I actually corrected the typo. Again, that's a good lesson for you that Amazon hasn't updated it yet. They say thank you for submitting your suggested changes to Amazon's catalog, but it's our catalog, bitch, and we'll do what we want. You can see the BSR rank, right? The Amazon sales rank here. This is overall. You can see the product description here with some basic HTML written out. So if we look at the actual product listing here, we see this is with the bullets. We see here's the title, and if we scroll down, we will see the product description as well. And you see how this text is bold and this text is not bold. The reason for that is because, oops, where the heck did I put that? Oh. The reason for that is because there's actually the bold tag and the end bold tag. Here we set a break. It's just basic HTML. To be honest, though, like barely anyone even reads the product description, so it's not worth wasting a lot of time on. The main thing for the product description is just to have keywords that people are searching, but not stuffing those keywords. Like, don't write like coffee grinder, coffee grinder, coffee grinder, the best coffee grinders that I've ever seen, right? Give meaningful information there, but just don't waste your time on it, because it's rarely anyone is making a buying decision based on this. They're making a buying decision based on three things: your images, the reviews, and the price. And so we're going to talk about how to actually optimize all of those things in a little bit. But for this one, I just wanted to introduce the product description, right, which is obviously right here under product description. We see the bullets right here, which of course are the key product features here. And then we see keywords right here: intended use, entertainment, target audience, adults, and you can add more. Like you can do like female, male, unisex. Other attributes is not particularly important. People have gone back and forth on whether or not these actually index as keywords. I've never wasted my time doing that, because people that are wasting their time doing that and not finding additional products that are going to be profitable and adding them to their portfolios are losing, and the people who are focusing their time on what actually matters, which is getting more profitable products into their portfolio, are winning. Search terms is right here, right? Search terms are kind of the back-end keywords that we're going to talk about how to populate right now. So that is the order of importance, right? The key product features is second. The product title is first. Amazon assigns more weight to each keyword in your product title is first. Description, the key product features, is second. And then the product description and the backend keywords are kind of tied for third. They're all important, but you want to make sure you do all of them. But it goes title, bullet points, and then product description and backend search terms or keywords. People use them synonymously. And so the way that I actually like to do things when I'm first populating a listing, especially before it's actually published and active, and the reason that I say that is because you're actually able to change it before you publish it and make it active. But once it's published and active and part of Amazon's catalog, it becomes infinitely more annoying and painful to actually go about changing it. So what we're going to do is we are going to talk about the coffee grinder here, right? So we see the product name is Coffee Grinder, manufacturer KD Coffee. And so we're going to switch gears here and talk about a coffee grinder. So we see the electric coffee grinder, spice grinder, and this is good, right? Spice grinder, because we saw on Answer the Public, people say, can you also grind spices? Can you also grind nuts? So maybe it's important to say electric coffee grinder, spice grinder, nut grinder, stainless steel blades, 3-ounce black. Right, so we'd have to make sure that our whatever, like if we decided to make a coffee grinder that was black and had stainless steel blades and similar to this one, then obviously we could use these terms, but you don't want to say anything that's like incorrect. Like if you have like a white one with like ceramic blades, then obviously you don't want to copy this. But my general mentality about this, guys, is never ever use people's actual brand names at all in anywhere in your listing. It's just not worth it, and you're not allowed to do it. And if they have trademarks on it, then Amazon can shut your listing down. So never ever do it. But so my general idea about this, guys, is don't reinvent the wheel. These guys are ranked first for a reason, right? When coffee grinder is obviously the largest volume word, and we see that aside from all of these sponsored ads, these guys are ranked first, and they have the Amazon Choice badge, right? So there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. What I would do is literally just come in here and I would say electric coffee grinder, spice grinder, and if it was stainless steel blades, and then you'd say like whatever it is, 6 ounces white or whatever, right? And so that's what I would do for the actual product name itself. Don't assume that everybody does things right. Like these guys are definitely not perfect. Like I love when people put a capitalized word at the beginning of the key product features. It just really like makes the listing look much cleaner. Like I would say like perfect blend, perfect grind every time. And the next one, I would look over here, large grinding capacity, yields to 12 cups of coffee. I would say like massive grind capacity. And the third one, grinds up to 3 ounces in seconds. Speed is our name. And then can grind beans, but also spices, herbs, nuts, grains, and more, right? So they've obviously done their due diligence as well. I would say perfect for nuts and spices. Great wedding gift. Perfect gift for housewarming gift or for a new home. I would say perfect housewarming gift. Right, and then I would go in and I would actually type these out a little bit stronger. And I'm actually gonna create a listing completely from scratch, but I just want to generally like introduce these ideas to you and kind of show you that you should never feel stuck, right? Don't stare at this and say like, oh, I got to make this all completely perfect and completely from scratch. Right, this is a completely different listing than these guys, even though I'm taking everything as inspiration from their listing. The reason that they're in first, guys, is because they're selling the most, and the reason that they have the most reviews is because they're selling the most. Again, never reinvent the wheel. Just use what's working and then make it better. And so I would do that for key product features, and then I would write things out more in depth. I would say like an even blended creation every time. Like never worry about uneven grains. And I would probably spend a little bit more time on this, like if I was going to create like a listing and I only had one product. But what I've learned more and more creating multiple 7-figure businesses on Amazon is, again, the things that matter are the image, the reviews, and the price. People care very little about this, and I found that people spend and waste a lot of time trying to make their listing perfect and like continually iterating like their listings and things like that, when really it just does not matter as much as people think. And so that's kind of how I would do it for this. Again, for the product description, you can see it right here. Grind whole coffee beans quickly and efficiently with this powerful Krups coffee grinder. So I would literally just come in and say grind whole coffee beans quickly and effectively with the KD coffee grinder, the perfect alternative to pre-ground coffee beans. And I might like do something like perfect coffee grinder. And you can do, and you could put like a break in here. And you know, if you want to learn how to write HTML, it's extremely easy. The only two things I literally use are bold and break. This is like a paragraph break, and this is like bolding the words. So we're gonna save and finish this. And we are going to actually look at what it looks like. We'll see if it actually updates in real time. Probably won't, but we'll see. Okay, let's go back in. View Amazon detail page. So perfect grind every time. Okay, cool. So it actually is updating somewhat. And here we go, the perfect coffee grinder in bold and a paragraph break and grind whole beans quickly. So it did update because it's not actually in stock and it's not live yet, but that's basically the intro when it comes to creating a title and creating a description. So the last thing would be the keywords. Most important of which are obviously right here. Platinum keywords are for platinum merchants only, which Amazon has always kept kind of annoyingly hidden, but it basically means like $100 million sellers, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so how we would actually create the search terms is using a tool called Zon Keywords. So I'm just going to clean these up a little bit because my OCD. But like how I would really create like my title and things like that is using Zon Keywords. And so I want to briefly just show how to excuse me, how to use this tool. In the last video of this particular module, I'm going to really show how to use this tool. This is by far the most powerful keyword software when it comes to Amazon. A lot of the old alternatives that I used to teach kind of don't have accurate data, to put it the most light, kind of happy, warming way. This is actual accurate data, right? When it says 127,970, that's real, and it's related to the overall coffee grinder kind of niche, right? So the most relevant term, according to Zon Keywords, is burr, grinder, coffee. You know, small coffee grinder burr, Cuisinart coffee grinder. Lots of different words that we can kind of think of here. And the reverse ASIN X tool is by far the most powerful and time-saving tool that I've ever used when it comes to Amazon. So if we go one more time back into Coffee Grinder here, we're going to skip the sponsored, click into this same one, and then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the ASIN, come into Zon Keywords, and I'll show you guys how to use this even like more powerfully later on. But for now, we're just going to put in, did I grab that right? Yeah. We're just going to put in their ASIN. And what we see here is the rank of this product for all of these keywords, right? So this is incredible. It's incredibly valuable. We see that they rank first for Krups coffee bean grinder, coffee grinder is top rated, spice grinder, electric small, flaxseed grinder, right? So they've optimized very well for a lot of different things. We can see the search volume per month. We can see the Ninja score, which is basically like a 1 to 100 of, you know, how meaningful and powerful that keyword has the ability to be, meaning, you know, what the competition is versus the amount of monthly searches. So the higher this is, the more advantageous that particular keyword is. So Krups coffee bean grinder obviously is their brand name. And so it really makes a lot of sense that it would be a very, very high-powered keyword because they're selling so much, and obviously we can't use their brand name. And so what we're going to do actually from this particular list is we're going to export this, and what we're looking for is individual word frequency count. So basically this means that these words appear most frequently in the organic position 1 keyword or product, right? So they're organic position 1 because they sell the most, right? They sell the most because they're indexed for the most. They're indexed for the most, meaning that they've been deemed by Amazon to be the most relevant for everything related to a coffee grinder. So we exported this. We're going to open up this Excel really quick. And all we're going to do for right now is grab these words, right? So this is the frequency word count. And so if we actually grab all of these, and we're going to delete Krups there. We're going to delete Cuisinart. We're going to delete KitchenAid. Alternative conical. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking through and making sure that all of the brand names are gone, because obviously no software has the ability to pull out every brand name in the world. And so anything that I think might be a brand name, I'm gonna just pull out of here. Because I just and most of the time, guys, it's not, you're not going to get, you know, your listing pulled for having a brand name in your backend keywords, but it's possible, right? So like I don't ever like to test Amazon. There's no reason to, and like some tiny incremental gain that I might have for having Krups in my backend keyword is not worth potentially getting my listing shut down. So I'm going to look through these. I'm going to delete anything that might be a brand name. Molino might be, I'm not sure. Conical could be also, so I'm going to delete that. F203 could be. Warehouse, beach. Warehouse might be. Industrial. Burr might be. I'm not sure. Okay, cool. So I'm going to grab these. And what we're going to do is this last step and go to a website called LetterCount. So Amazon only allows you to index 250 characters, right? They actually call it bytes. So a byte is the same thing as a character unless it's a special character like an ampersand or something like that. And so what we're gonna have to do is go in here and delete these until we only have 250. There's actually spaces that are counting right now too. So we're gonna delete the spaces really quick, and then we're gonna have to remove some of these. Let's remove Italian. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Let's remove alternative is probably like ground coffee beans alternative, so we're gonna leave that for now. Let's get rid of German, English, and Spanish. Fine is probably like fine ground. Grinding machine, spices, second outlet. Coffee spelled wrong, we're gonna leave that. Manual, hand, nut, coarse, blend, I assume. Can grind, blend, grinders, uniform. Uniform blend is probably what that means. I think industrial doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think beach makes a ton of sense either. So we're getting closer. Top rated, maker small, nut, espresso, manual. Let's get rid of manual. 69, 61, let's do second, 54, all right, 249 characters. So we're going to take these, and this is basically the most frequent appearing words in the most popular, highest ranking, highest index listing, and then we removed the brand names and the ones that we, using a human brain deemed not as relevant as the others. And so what we're going to do with this final data is we're going to come into keywords and we're literally going to paste these all in here. And as long as you have under 250 bytes, right, and a byte is the same thing as a character if it's a normal letter, spaces count as well, we're going to save and finish. So that is the introduction to title, bullet points, product description, and how to do your backend keywords correctly. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and let's get to the next.